Hey, what's up buddy, welcome back to another Minecraft video. Today I'm gonna be teaching you all about the Autopet and how to use it and when to use it. Anyways, if you did enjoy this video, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of these type of videos. Help me reach 5,000 subs before the end of this month, and let's get into it. Alright, so 2 days ago they added new items in the community shop. So if you look at the community shop, there's some new items like the Kismet Feather and then the Autopet, which we'll be talking about, the Rune Sack, and then the Block Zapper. But the main one we're focusing on is the Autopet rules. Each of these allows you to automatically switch to a pet from an event that happens. So let's get into it. Once you buy that, you will have this button in your pet menu, and this is where you're going to be adding events that will happen to make you spawn the pet. So let me show you this for example. So for this one, once you gain farming XP, it equips the elephant pet, but it does not equip it if you are in the hub, the barn, or the mushroom desert. So that is called the exception. Each of these you can delete them, and you can add exceptions, reset the exceptions, and you can add a bunch of exceptions, more than one. I'm not sure exactly how many there are, but it is enough. Each of these only gives you ability of 2 rules, but to create a new rule, you simply click on create rule, and you'll see a bunch of them. So let's talk about each one and explain which one you should use or how to use it. The first one is you log into Skyblock. So this one, once you log into Skyblock, you can choose whatever pet you want. Personally, this is the least favorite one because it's not really that important and kinda is a waste of event slot. So I don't recommend going for this. The second one is gain skill XP. This one is one of my favorite ones because you can pretty much choose whatever XP you want. Combat, farming, mining, forging XP, and whatever. The only useless ones I would say are the rune crafting, carpentry, and I guess dungeoneering. And if you want to know what pet to go for each of these, you have to go for a pet that increases the amount of skill XP you gain. So for example, for farming, you use rabbit. For fishing, you use squid, and so on. Let's move on to the second one. You enter an island. So you have every single island in here. The first island, the private island. This one I set as rabbit because I'm using melon minions and I want faster melon minions, but you can put whatever pet you want here. The second one is the hub. Another useless one honestly, unless you use it during the griffin event, where you equip the griffin pet every time you go to the hub so you don't have to do it manually, but you'll have to add some exceptions, and as well, you'll probably have to remove it after the event. The next one is the barn, and all of these are pretty much boring. I don't think they're very necessary for a pet in these situations, but one thing I actually like to put as is the dwarfen mines. In the dwarfen mines, I like to equip the mithril golem, so I can always have that mithril golem every time in the dwarfen mines so I don't have to worry about it. Spider's Den. Why do people go to the Spider's Den? Well, I know some people like to go there for fishing, so you can equip the fishing here. But you can also equip the fishing when you gain fishing XP, so you don't need to do this here. But also people do tarantulas. So you can put a tarantula pet or wolf pet, whatever pet you like to use here. Another useless one because there are events that are actually better for it. Same goes for the Blaze Fortress, the End, the Park, Dark Auction, but this one, Dungeons. This is the first one I set because I always forget to equip my dungeon pet. But for the dungeons, every time you enter a dungeon, and that does not include the dungeon hub, it has its own category here, dungeon hub. Every time you enter the dungeon, it automatically equips the pet for you. I know some people like to use Black Cat because it gives you a lot of speed, it's easier to clear rooms and stuff. So you can put your Black Cat here, you can put the Blue Whale, you could put the Baby Yeti, whatever pet you want to use, whatever primary pet you want to use while clearing, and then worry about the boss room in the next events that we'll talk about later. Next one is the Jerry Workshop. Now with this one, people pretty much only go there to do Yeti fishing. So whatever pet you use for Yeti fishing, equipped it here. And then the Dungeon Hub. This one is similar to the dungeon, so I don't really have to worry about this one too much. When you enter combat. Now this one is a bit more broad because this is whenever you enter a combat, it doesn't matter what the situation is. You can add exceptions and stuff. I have no use for this, and I honestly don't think anyone has a use for it just yet. But if I ever say something and I want to update it, look at the comment section below. I'll probably put a pinned message where I'll constantly be updating some of the stuff I'm saying here. Anyways, the next one is increasing your collection. This one is actually very broken, and I'll tell you why. With the collection, you can combo it with the skill XP, and you can pretty much get the ability of 2 pets at the exact same time. So you get more drops and you also get more XP. Let me show you. We're going to use farming as an example. So what you need to do is go to the skill XP category, choose farming XP. You do not select the rabbit here, you select the opposite, which is the elephant. And then you do the same thing in the collection, look for whatever crop you're farming. Let's put sugarcane for now. and this is where you put rabbit. And as you can see in chat, it constantly switches back and forth between each pet. It gives you the double drop and also gives you that farming XP boost. Honestly, this is probably gonna get fixed soon. I've heard they're gonna probably add a cooldown to this, so there's a possibility that it doesn't work still. Alright, let's keep going. The next one is you kill a mob. All of the mobs here are pretty much the basic ones. You don't see really anything interesting. But all you have to do is pick whatever mob you want. I cannot talk about every single one of them because that will take hours. But for example, you kill a blaze and you're in the blaze fortress and you want to switch to a pet. You can set an action right here. Next one is select class. This one is similar to the one where you enter dungeons. So this is why I don't really care too much about this. But if you are a player who plays multiple classes, you can set a pet for this class and then a pet for this class, and yeah. The next one is events. So this talks about all of the events. New Year celebration, which is pretty useless here. Dark auction, useless again, unless you want to showcase your horse for some reason. Spooky festival. Now this one isn't useless. You can use a bat here, or I don't know what pet you like to use doing spooky for some reason. And then Season of Jerry, another useless one because we've talked about how you can set it when you enter the island instead. Or you can use this one instead of the entering island, whatever fits you best. Traveling Zoo, another useless one. Election open, election over. Fishing festival, which is pretty much dolphin, squid, flying fish, whatever primary pet you use for fishing. Mining fiesta. Whatever pet you like to level when you're doing the mining fiesta, you can put a pet right here. If you want to put a silverfish or whatever mining pet you want to put, you can put it right here. And then finally, Jacob's farming contest. For this one, it's quite simple. You equip the elephant, but remember that this also triggers every hour, so you will need to put exceptions. You have to put an exception that it only works if you're in your island. Next up is the wardrobe. You can basically have a pet as part of the wardrobe with this. I actually like this because it doesn't depend on real events. It basically changes your clothes and summons the pet for you. For example, if you want a dungeon pet, when you equip the dungeon armor set. So yeah, I cannot really choose this for you, so see what fits you best. Combo whatever pet you want with your wardrobe. Next one is boss spawn. This is where people actually really needed pet swapping. So the first one is killing any boss. So whenever a boss spawns, whatever the type of boss, it spawns the pet and it helps you. The same goes for any dragon. But then you can specify which dragon spawns and you can have a different pet for that. I'm not sure what pets you like to use for doing dragons because I don't really do dragons, so I can't help you with this one. But you can also set it for horseman horse and all of the others. But another one you need to focus on is Slayer bosses. You can set it to any Slayer boss, or you can set it to specific Slayer bosses. So every time the boss spawns, you can switch to a different pet. You don't need to keep your wolf pet for the combat XP, or you don't need to keep the pet you're leveling. If you want to do like a lot of damage, or you want something with magic find, for example, you can go for Black Cat. Or if you want something for damage, you can go for Ender Dragon pet. But this is where you can do it. And then for the dungeons, you can put any dungeon boss, but I personally set Necron as one of my Autopets. Every time Necron spawn, you can have your Wither Skeleton pet ready, you don't have to manually do it, and these are the bosses. Now for Slayer. So we've talked about the Slayer boss, so now let's choose for when you start the Slayer quest. You can use Wolf, so you can get more combat XP. You can use Tarantula, you can use whatever pet here, but this is every time you start a Slayer, this is what it's gonna be spawning. You can even level a pet here as well. Next up is when you go AFK. This one I set as rabbit. Go for rabbit if you have farming minions, chicken pet if you have chicken minions, and etc. Next thing we have is dig griffin burrows. For this one it's quite simple, it is griffin pet, but I cannot really tell you how this one works because we haven't been able to test it out because the event isn't active right now. It might not work and mess up the mods it digs out, because I think the game generates the burrows when the griffin pet is spawning. So yeah, once the event starts, keep an eye on the comment section and hopefully I'll update it. Next up, you have when you open a winter gift, you can choose whatever pet you want to put during that. And then finally, you open the experimentation table. For this one, you should probably go for the guardian pet. But if you're already enchanting 60 and you're just trying to level your pets, you can go for whatever pet you want here. But this is the place where you want to equip it. And that's pretty much it. Just remember that you can click on whatever event you have and you can add an exception, which you can modify I don't know why they only added except if. They should probably add if only, so it becomes less annoying to constantly add these exceptions. But anyways, I hope that helped you out a lot. This Autopet has a lot of information, so I probably missed some stuff, and I'm sorry about that. So let me know in the comment section below, ask me, and I'll probably reply. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!